Thanks, Christy. What's the biggest game of the season? Tomorrow night, Penn State hosting Ohio State under the lights. It'll be a whiteout, and for more on the matchup, we go live to Quaker Steak and Leuben State College and join Casey Cans for our Blue White Friday show. Hey, Casey.
Hey, Charlotte, we got Goon back in the house this week. He was in Champaign last week for Penn State, Illinois, and we appreciate you joining us today, folks, for another edition of our Blue White Friday show. Goon, I guess you could say to this point for Penn State, looking ahead to tomorrow night, they've taken care of business to this point. They've done what they need to do. Tomorrow night will be that big test, though.
Absolutely, and we've talked about it the last couple of weeks, and that has been the start. We've gotten away with having some slow starts in the first half because we're playing lesser competition. But if that happens this week, we might be in a lot of trouble. Yeah,
it's funny you mentioned that. If my notes are correct, the second half's the last couple of weeks. Exactly out of control. I'll find those notes here in a little bit. I got too many papers here, but right here, 14-6 first Pitt in the first half, 28-10 versus Kent State, 21-17 last week against Illinois. Those are the first half scores. Penn State, of course, leading all of those. Outscoring those opponents, though, then in the second half, 114-7. Incredibly lopsided when you look at it. They can't do that this week.
No way. They cannot afford to do that. And you got to give the coaches some credit for those halftime adjustments. Right. They're getting those guys. I mean, when I say we start slow, it's not that we start slow because we've actually scored on how many drives to open the game. Almost all of them, if not all, the last 2 years. But it says the defense needs to make a big stop this week, maybe a special teams play, maybe create a turnover. The question is that, I have my radio show here during the week, and my partner, Jeff Byers, the Ironhead, said, what do we do on a coin flip? Do you want the ball, or do you want to give them the ball? Get used to the crowd, enjoy. It's a little cat and mouse game going on right there, and what coach will do whether they win the toss or not. They win the toss, I always say defer it, but you may want to take the ball and announce your presence. Well, everybody says defer it, but would you want the ball, go down the field, get a touchdown, put some points on the board, and then kick it off, and then have the fans have at it?
Very interesting.
It's a pretty good talking point. Good dilemma.
We'll see what Coach Franklin or Urban Meyer would do there. But talk about that kind of goes into this next point, the whiteout. I mean, the white. There's nothing like it in college sports. That atmosphere tomorrow night, kickoff around 7:30. Just the buzz is going to be there. What do you think about it?
Yeah, it's amazing. There's no doubt about it. We're here today. It's Friday afternoon. It started about Tuesday in town here. You could cut like the excitement with a knife, in my opinion. And as the days get closer to the game, it's just so much more excitement. You see more and more Winnebagos. You see more and more people in town. And it's like you got to love having these big football games in town. It's the best.
I can't wait. I really can't wait. A lot of buzz around here, like Goon said. We got much more Penn State, Ohio State coverage to get to in just a little bit, live from Quaker Steak and Lube. For now, though, Charlotte, back to you.
Thanks, Casey.